Millennials get made fun of a lot by the older demographic. In turn, there's a lot of things our parents do that just don't make sense to the younger generation anymore. Let's take a look at some of those differences and see which ones you do too. 20. All those student loans. Getting a job after college just statistically isn't as easy as it was during the age of the baby boomers. Most millennials that have graduated college needed to use student loans as a way to finance them through their university days. As a group, they acquired a total of about $1 trillion in student loan debts in the United States of America alone. Apparently, credit card debt is getting really popular amongst this age group as well, with only 22% of 18 to 34-year-olds living debt-free. The rates of marriage amongst these in this age group has also gone down since many millennials have postponed getting married because of debt. 19. Documenting everything. In the age of social media, it seems wherever you go, there's people whipping their phones and cameras out. You can't ever waste an opportunity to Snapchat because, well, what if the moment passes? That phrase, pics or it didn't happen, ring true to a lot of people. Who's gonna believe you hung out with so-and-so, went to this and that concert, or tried whatever food you tried at the 5-star Yelp recommended restaurant if you don't document it on your Snap, Instagram, or Facebook story? Actually, most of your friends will probably believe you, but still. 18. BYOB, be your own boss. So we said that lots of millennials find themselves in debt, especially if they attended college. Well, the remedy to not being able to find a job is to make that job, something increasingly more common than ever before. The American dream is to own your own business and take part in upward mobility and all that jazz. So you could say this is the younger generation version of that idea. We may be on social media a lot, but these platforms have allowed for people to make careers for themselves, such as Instagram personalities, YouTube vloggers, and the like. 17. Slang. Okay, let us explain. For some reason, new slang has developed which stems from that hot tea water drink. First off, you have sipping tea, and we have Kermit the Frog drinking some Lipton to thank for that. Sipping tea means you're minding your own business, but something scandalous or insane just happened in front of you. Then you have spilling the tea. Picture sipping that tea and then either spitting it out or knocking that cup over. That means that you got a bit of gossip and you are not holding back on telling people. 16. Looking for receipts. Similar to spilling tea, when someone has or is looking for receipts, that doesn't mean they're looking in their box of receipts, similar to the one your mom keeps near the filing cabinet. It means that you dug up some old dirt on someone and that you have proof of their wrongdoing. While exposing each other's secrets is just something people have done to each other for forever, it seems more common now to do to famous people, whether they learned their lesson from the past or not. 15. The experience. People tell you all the time that your money is much more well spent on experiences than on material things, and millennials have taken that to heart. With music festivals growing in popularity every year, it seems like the thing to do is to pack your bags with your best festival outfits and a camera, and then head out with some friends to the next biggest music festival in the world. 14. Meetups with strangers. That sounds super strange and vague, so let's elaborate on this one. With forums available on the internet and social media allowing others to see most aspects of your life, meeting up with like-minded people for events or clubs has been easier and possibly a little safer than ever. Now, with technology like Google Hangouts, Skype, and FaceTime, it also makes it easier to communicate with someone face-to-face, if you will, without actually being face-to-face. 13. Ditching that car. Rich millennials like to show off their cars that either their Instagram account or rich parents helped buy for them, maybe even both. Yet a lot of the younger people are opting for public transportation, bikes, or rideshare apps like Uber or Lyft. Some may use a combination of these alternatives so that they can even forego owning a car themselves. 12. The new exercise culture. It's not uncommon anymore for anyone to see pictures of you online or just to see you in real life and ask you what your workout routine is. Exercising is trendy, which is great because there's so many things out there that could keep you sedentary, but making working out popular can only be a good thing. Mostly. 11. Eco-friendly everything. Not using a car and opting for bikes or public transportation also helps out the environment since there's less cars that need gas being used and therefore less fossil fuels being emitted into the atmosphere. Whether it be genuine or just because everyone else is doing it, you can't deny that being eco-friendly is more in than ever. More millennials choose to go to eco-friendly establishments, which is why veganism is catching on, and then using hybrid or even electric cars. 10. When you actually say retweet. If you're super out of touch with all things social media, you might be confused when you say something relatable and someone pipes up saying retweet, or they text RT in the group chat. For those of you that have no idea what that means, it derives from how you can retweet on Twitter when you relate to someone else's tweet. It might seem ridiculous to a lot of us that people just say retweet in other settings, but hey, that's the nature of slang. 9. Beauty blogging and vlogging. The culture of makeup has become more widespread and accessible. As a result, you have really young people knowing how to do makeup rather well and wearing more of it. You have the popularity of beauty vloggers to thank for that. There's a plethora of beauty vloggers who fit this role. These influencers are a big reason whether or not your daughter or son will decide to buy that $65 eyeshadow palette or spend hours practicing their cheek and nose contouring in their room. It makes sense that they rely on the word of these vloggers. After all, they're people others trust to try the product out and tell you whether or not it's worth the money. 8. The newest fashions. Ever since clothes became a thing, humans have been judging each other's wardrobes. With your presence on social media, people are looking at what you wear more often than ever. Baby boomers might even post photos of their outfits too. But how much do you want to bet that these posts aren't filled with hashtags of the brands they're wearing, followed with the obligatory hashtag OOTD? 7. Living with roommates. When it comes to parents of millennials, the idea of roommates is limited to mostly your mid-20s when you need the help financially when moving out of your parents' house. Yet millennials are showing that you can be over 30 years old and it's still okay to live with roommates, especially with this economy. With adults getting married later in life or even married couples renting rooms out, it seems the idea of living with roommates isn't limited to just young single people. Even people with higher paying jobs may still want a roommate so that they can save their money for other things. 6. Working for travel. Speaking of saving money, one of the biggest priorities for a majority of millennials is to travel. What other pictures are you gonna fill your Instagram profile and Facebook photos with? On a less sarcastic note, experiencing other cultures and being more worldly has become a huge part of youth culture, especially in America. Back in the baby boomer days, you went to school, maybe partied a bit during college, graduated, worked, and had a family who you went on vacations with sometimes. Now, traveling with friends or on your own has become more popular. Plus, with things like Airbnb and discount airlines making lodging and flights more affordable than hotels, traveling is more accessible to even those with a smaller budget to work with. 5. Movies the kids are watching. We don't see as many rom-coms in the theaters the way we used to during the 80s up to the 2000s. Instead, what's taken over the box office are comic book movies, shared universe or franchise movies, remakes and reboots, and last but not least, the weird artsy films. When seeing Oscar contender type films, you'll notice that the audience in the movie theater are either really young people or really old people, with the in-between demographic closer to our parents' age usually missing. 4. Selfies. The art of taking a selfie can be a complicated one. Contrary to what your parents might tell you when you're trying to take a selfie but the rest of your family have already started walking away. Makeup, like we said before, factors in big time when it comes to taking a selfie and posting it on social media. Your contour must not look ridiculous, the lighting needs to be perfect, and you need to figure out the right face to make before you press the take photo button. This culture might seem bizarre to older people, but at least this dad tried his hand at what his son goes through when trying to take the perfect selfie. 3. The foodie life. Posting pictures of what you ate that day is also commonplace on social media. Some may scoff at you for raising your iPhone or Canon camera over your table to take a picture of that kitschy and cute arrangement of toast the waiter just delivered to you. It's interesting, isn't it? How eating at all the cool places doesn't make a lot of popular vloggers fat, since working out is already so popular? Surely there's a good message in there somewhere. In a study by Maru Matchbox, about 69% of millennials take pictures or videos of their food before they eat. 2. Millennials versus food chains. You might remember those news articles a few months back that accused millennials of killing food chains in the nature of Applebee's, TGI Fridays, and Buffalo Wild Wings. These casual dining chains just aren't bringing in a certain age demographic. But why? It seems many millennials opt for cooking at home since it's much cheaper to do so and will limit going out to eat when it involves more trendy eating establishments. 1. Dating. Older adults that count as baby boomers use their share of online dating platforms such as eHarmony or Match.com. However, when it comes to millennials from the age of 16 to up to the age of 34, they appear to be the majority users of dating apps like Tinder. Gone are the days when you put an ad in the newspaper. Nowadays, you can meet new people with a swipe on your phone, changing the culture of dating and relationships among younger people. Many argue that Tinder and similar fast dating apps oversimplifies dating, which makes matches based on mutual attraction from a few pictures. What did you think of that list? If you're a millennial, does this sound like you? If so, or if not, let us know in the comments. Before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.